Welcome to the Liminal Dream. All you liminal dreamers out there, today we're going to talk about a topic that's a little bit controversial and it's probably going to make some of you mad. And that's fine, because it's something we need to deep dive in and think about. But the topic is, drumroll, gatekeeping. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. A long time ago in a different world, when I had a different TikTok, I posted a video about a certain material possession inside of Spirit Halloween and how I would never, why would they want to carry this in that fashion? And I got called out saying that I was gatekeeping from people having access to this specific thing. And I just wanted to clarify. So I did this a while back in the comments, but I'm going to clarify now is gatekeeping is a necessity to keep the integrity of a certain establishment, event, or process. Okay. You have to gatekeep in order for these things to maintain their integrity. And this hit my nerve when I was looking at a post on Facebook the other day about how in Silverton, they have basically outlawed side-by-sides and such from driving through the town because people were abusing it. They were driving fast. They weren't obeying the speed limits. They weren't obeying the laws of the road. They were being kind of pricks about it. And the comments started to progress, and got broader. And it just stimulated me because I like to be out in nature. I like to overland. I like to travel. I like to adventure, and I like to do things that are off the beaten path. And I've noticed that more people are starting to do that as well. And the problem with that is I welcome more people to join these things, but the problem is without them learning the rules or understanding why these things are in effect, they will abuse them, and eventually things will get taken down. For instance, with overlanding, we have forestry trails that we can drive on, and they're maintained by the forestry department. They're maintained by volunteers. They allow you access to some of the best parts of the country, the most beautiful parts of the country. But they get shut down for various reasons. And some of the reasons are animal hibernation, animal traffic, animal preserves. Those are primary ones. Integrity of the forest. If things start to get too eroded because of the travels or people camping out there, they'll shut them down to allow for these areas to kind of regrow and correct themselves. But people have a tendency to feel entitled to want to go down that road, or they feel I'm one person. It's not going to hurt if I go down that road. So they'll go down them. And when they get caught, they get ticketed. Well, if this keeps happening, eventually they're just going to shut the whole trails down altogether in that area to prevent from having a need to manage it, to keep these people in check because they can't self-manage. So this brings me back to gatekeeping, because gatekeeping is a necessity to manage the integrity of these things. So in an example of the trail system, if you only limit people who have certain abilities or certain ways of doing things, or believe in the rules, or have agreed to the rules, that kind of thing, and you only allow those access to that area, it becomes a more sought after thing. So those people who can get access to it are going to maintain it better. They're going to keep that in check to make sure that they can maintain access to it, and it's not necessarily that people need to pay to play, or that they need to pass a certain test, but there needs to be some barrier to entry to a lot of these activities. Otherwise, they're overrun with amount of people. And while 1, 2, 10 people aren't a problem, no matter who they are, any random 10, they're probably not going to be a problem. When you get thousands and millions of people bombarding a certain activity area or thing, you start to see issues arise in it, whether it be a shopping mall or a campsite, whether it be a national monument or a beach. You start to see things go awry. You see litter, you see trash everywhere, you see laws being broke because they feel entitled. So there are all these things that gatekeeping is a good thing to preserve the integrity of it. And I'm going to probably get persecuted in the comments for this, but that's the truth about it. And I believe heavily that many of these events, many of these functions out there need some kind of barrier to entry to allow those people who want to respect the idea and keep it in, you know, a a fluid, well-developed idea can access it. And if you're not thinking this way and you think gatekeeping's bad, I really want you to understand that if you overwhelm a system too much, whatever system it is, if you bombard it too much, that system degrades. It gets entropy takes over with it. It starts to become cancerous and devolve because you have too many dynamic processes in play to account for them all. And it's just a general eroding effect to it. And that's what happens if we just open the floodgates to most things. And that's why national parks, for the most part, have a reservation system in play, is to allow for the management of who's going to be there. And they're going to call me out. Well, after 5 p.m., 6 p.m., you don't need a reservation. You know why? Because most of the most beautiful things or things to do or the activities are during the peak time of the day. And that's when the most people want to come. So they look at that and they put these in place to only allow so many people at a time to go in so it doesn't get overrun and the experience doesn't get diminished. They can maintain the process. They can maintain the integrity of the idea or system. And that's, unfortunately, as we grow as a society and become a more populated society, we have to understand as a citizen in the modern world is that we don't have direct access to everything like we want it. And we have to respect the ability and respect the barriers to entry so that we can preserve the integrity of it. And that's just my thought on gatekeeping is integral to integrity. Let me know what you think. I know it's kind of a hot button topic. People don't like it, but I am curious to know your thoughts.